Mark chapter 6. Gai exulten, egeten, gai erketai, estern patrida autu. And he went out from there, and he is coming into his fatherland. Gai akolutu sin autoi, hoimata diautu. And his disciples are following him. Gai genomenu sabbatu, erksato didasken entei synagogai. And of Shabbat's becoming, he began to be teaching in the synagogue. Gai hoipolloi akuontes exeplösonto. And the many hearing were being astonished, legontes, saying, Poten tutoi, dauta. From where to this one these things? Gaitis her sopia her dotesa tutoi. And what is the wisdom having been given to this one? Gai haidunames, and the powers, doiautai diaton keronau tu genomenai. Such ones through his hands becoming. Uku tosestin hotekton. Is not this one the carpenter? Hohuiostes Marias, the son of Mariam? Gai adelpos Iacobu, gai Iosetos, gai Yehuda, gai Shimoonos, gai ugesin hyadel paiautu hode pros Hermas. The son of the Mariam, and brother of Jacob, and Yoses, and Yehuda, and Shimon, and are not his sisters here with us? Gai escandalizonto enautoi. And they were being stumbled by means of him. Gai elegen autois, ho Iesus, hoti, gestin properter satimos, me entoi patridi autu. And Yeshua was saying to them that a prophet is not being without honor, unless in his fatherland. Gai entoi syngeneu sinautu, and among his relatives. Gai entoi oikiai autu, and in his home. Gai ugedunato eke poiesai, udemian dunamin. And he was not being able to do there any power, no power or miracle. Me oligois arostois epites das keras eterapeusen, except for a few sick ones, having laid the hands, he healed. Gai etaumadzen diatern apistian auton, and he was being amazed through their unfaithfulness or unbelief. Gai periögen das gomas kykloi didaskon, and he was going about the villages around teaching. Gai proskaletai tus dodeca, and he was calling the 12 to himself. Gai erxato autus apostellen duo, and he began to be sending them two. Gai edidu autu tois exousian, ton pneumaton, ton akatsarton. And he was giving to them authority over the unclean spirits. Kai paröngelen autois hina möden airosin eshodon mö rabdon monon mö arton mö böran mö estön zonen kalkon. And he laid a charge upon them, so that they should be taking nothing in the way, if not one staff, not bread, not a bag, not brass in the belt, that is money, alla hypodedemenus sandalia, but having worn sandals, kai mö endysöste duokitonas, and not having put on 2 tunics. Kai elegenautois, and he was saying to them, Hopu ean eseltöte esoikian, where ye might enter into a house. Eke menete heosan exeltöte eketen. There be ye remaining until ye should go out from there. Kai hos an topos mö dexertai hymas mö de akusus sin hymon ek poreuomenoi eketen ek dinaxatte ton kun ton hypokato ton podon hymon es martyrion autois. And whatever place might not receive you, nor should hear you, departing out from there, shake ye off the dust that is under your feet into a testimony toward them. Kai exeltontes ekeryxan hina metanoosin. And having gone out, they preached that they should be repenting. Kai daimonia polla exeballon, and they were casting out many demons. Kai elepon elaioi pollus arrostus kai eterapeuon, and anointing by means of oil many sick ones also they were healing. Kai ökusen hobasileus Heroides, and the king Herod heard paneron gar egenetoto onoma autu, for his name or fame became well known. Kai elegon hoti Johannes ho baptizon egertai eknekron, kai dia tuto energusin hai dynamesen autoi. And he was saying that Johannen, the one baptizing, hath been risen out of dead ones, and through this the powers are working inside him. Alloi dia elegon hoti Elias estin, but others were saying that he is Eliah. Alloi de elegon hoti propertus, but others that a prophet. Hos hes ton properton, as one of the prophets. Accusaste ho Heroide selegen, but Herod, having heard, was saying, hon ego apeke palissa, Johannen, hutos ögerte, whom I beheaded, Johannen, this one is risen, or rose up. Autos gar hoheroides, apostelas, ekratösen ton Johannen kai edösen auton en pylaköi. For Herod himself, having sent, seized Johannen and bound him in prison, dia Herodiada, through Herodias, den Gunaika Philippu tu adelpu autu, the woman of Philip, his brother, hoti auten egamersen, because he married her. Elegen gar ho Johannes toi heroidei hoti ukexestinsoi ekenten gynaika tu adelpusu. For Johannen was saying to Herod that it is not being lawful for you to be having the woman of thy brother. Hörde Herodias seneken autoi. And Herodias was holding it against him. Kai ötelen auton apoktenai, and she was wishing to kill him. Kai uke dynato, and she was not being able. Hogar Heroides epobeto ton Johannen, for Herod was fearing Johannen, edo sauton andra dikaion kai hagion, having known him, a righteous man and holy, kai sunetere auton, and he kept him together, or safe, kai akusa sautu, and having heard him, olla pore kai deo sautu kuen. Many things he was being perplexed, and gladly he was hearing him. Kai genomenes hermeras eukairu, and an opportune day having become, hote Heroides tois genesioi sautu depnon epoiesen tois megistasin autu, kai tois kiliarkois, kai tois protois tes Galileas. When Herod, in his birthday, effectuated a banquet for his great ones, and for his chief captains, and for the leaders or first ones of the Galilee. Kai esel tuses tes tugatrosautes tes Herodiados, and the daughter of Herodias herself, having come, kai orcusamenes, and having danced, öresen toi Heroidei, kai tois synanakemenois, she pleased Herod and the ones reclining with him. Hode basileus epen toi korasioi. And the king said to the girl, Aite sonme, ho ean teleis, kai doso soi. Ask thou me what thou might be wanting, and I shall do it for thee. Gai omosen autoi, and he swore to her an oath. Bolla hoti ean me aitesais dososoi. As many things that thou mightest ask me, I shall give to thee. Heos hermisus tes basileas mu, as far as half of my kingdom. Gai exeltusa, and having gone out, epen tei metriautus, she spoke to her mother. Di aitesomai, what should I ask? Herde epen, and she said, Den gepalen Johannu tu baptizontos, the head of Johannen, the baptizing one. Kai esel tusa eutus metas budes, proston basilea, and having entered immediately with haste to the king. Eite sato, she asked, Legusa, saying, Telo hina exautes tois moi, epipinaki tön kepalön Johannu tu baptistu. I am desiring so that at once thou shouldst give to me upon a platter the head of Johannen the Baptist, or baptizer. Kai perilypos genomenos hobasileus diatus sorcus kai tus anakemenus uke telesen atete saiauten, and having become encompassingly sorrowful, the king, through the oaths and the reclining ones, willed not to refuse her. Kai eutus apostelas hobasileus speculatora, epetaxen enenkai den gepalön autu. And immediately the king having sent an executioner, he commanded to bring his head. Gai apelton, and having gone, apekepalisen auton entei pulakai, he beheaded him in the prison. Gai önenken tön kepalön autu epipinaki, and he brought his head upon a platter. Gai edoken auten toi gorasioi, and he gave it to the little girl. Gai to gorasion edoken auten toi metriautu, and the little girl gave it to her mother. Gai akusantes hoimata diautu erton, and his disciples, having heard, came. Gai eranto ptoma autu, and they lifted his corpse. Gai eterkan auto en mnemeoi, and they laid it in a tomb. Gai synagontai hoi apostoloi proston Yeshun, and the apostles, the sent ones, are gathering together to Yeshua. Gai apengela nautoi panta, and they reported all things to him. Hosa epoiesan gai hosa edidaksan, as many things as they effectuated, and as many things as they taught. Gai lege autois, and he is saying to them, Deute hyme sautoi, gatidian, seremon topon. Come ye yourselves, privately, into a solitary or wilderness place, kai anapausaste oligon, and rest ye a little. San gar hoi komenoi, kai hoi hypagontes polloi, for the ones coming and the ones going were being many, kai ude pagen eukaerun, and not even to eat they were having opportunity. Kai aperton entoi pluioi seremon topon katidian, and they went off in the boat into a wilderness or solitary place privately. Kai edon autus hypagontas, and they saw them going. Kai epignosan polloi, and many people knew. Kai pedzai apopason ton poleon sunedramoneke, and by foot from all the cities they ran together there. Kai proelton autus, and they came before them. Kai exelton eden polyn oklon, kai esplanknister ebautus, hoti ösan hos probata me ekonta poimena. And having gone out, he saw a great crowd, and he had compassion upon them, that they were as sheep not having a shepherd. Kai erksato didaske nautus polla, and he began to be teaching them many things. Kai öde horas pollus genomenes, and already a great hour having become, proseltontes autoi, hoimater autu elegon hoti, mosestin hotopos, kai öde hora polle. His disciples, having come to him, were saying that the place is desolate, and already a great hour. Apolluson autus, dismiss thou them. Hina apeltontes estus kykloi, agrus kai gomas, so that, having gone out into the surrounding regions and villages, agorasosin heautois ti pagosin, they might buy for themselves what things they should eat. Hode apokrites penautois, but he having answered said to them, Dote autois humes pagen, give ye to them to eat. Kai legus in autoi, and they are saying to him, Apeltontes agorasomen denarion diakosion artus. Having gone, we should buy 200 denarii of breads, kai dosomen autois pagen, and shall we give to them to eat? Hode lege autois, and he is saying to them, Possus secete artus, how many breads are ye having? Hypagete, be ye going, idete, see ye, kai gnontes legusin pente, kai duo ictuas, and having known, they are saying 5. and 2 fish. Kai epetaxen autois anaklinai pantas, and having commanded for them to be reclining, all of them, symposia epitoi chloroi korotoi, groups upon the green grass. Kai anepesan brasiai, and they sat, groups, kata hekaton kai kata pentekonta, according to 100 and according to 50s. Kai labon tuus pente artus kai tuus duo ictuas, and having taken the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, anablepsas eston uranon, having looked up into the sky, eulogersen, kai kateklasen tuus artus, he blessed and he broke the breads. Kai edidu tois matertais autu, and he was giving to his disciples hina paratitos in autois, so that they might be setting before them. Kai tuus duo ictuas emerisen pasin, and the 2 fish he divided to all. Kai epagon pantes kai ekorotastersan, and all ate, and they were filled or satisfied. Kai öran klasmata dodeka kopinon bleuromata, and they took up of fragments 12 basketfuls full. Kai apoton ictuon, and from the fishes. Kai ösan hoi pagontes tuus artus pentakis kilioi andres, and the ones having eaten the breads were being 5,000 men. Kai eutus nankasen tuus matertas autu, embernai esto ploion kai proagen esto peran, prospet taidan, heos autos apolueton oklon. And immediately he compelled his disciples to embark in the boat and to be going before him into the other side toward Bethsaida, until he should be dismissing the crowd. Kai apotaxamenos autois, and having taken leave of them, aperten esto oros proseuxastai, he went off into the mountain to pray. Kai opsias genomenes, and of evening having become, to ploion en mesoi tes talasses, the boat was being in the midst of the sea. Kai autos monos epites gus, and he alone upon the land. Kai ido nautus pasanizomenus entoi elaunen, and having seen them straining in the rowing, Gar ho anemos enantios autois, for the wind was being contrary to them. Peritetarten pulaken tes nuktos erketai prosautus peripaton epites talasses. About the 4th watch of the night he is coming to them, walking upon the sea. Kai ertelen parelten autus, and he was wanting to pass by them. hoide idontes auton epites talasses peripatunta. But they, having seen him upon the sea, walking about, edoxan hoti pantas maestin. They reckoned that an apparition was being, kai anekraxan, and they cried out, Panteska rauton edon kai etaraktersan, for all saw him, and they were troubled. Hode eutus elalösen metauton. But he immediately spoke with them, kai lege autois, and he is saying to them, Tarsete, be ye taking courage, or cheering up. Egoemi, I am being, I am the one. Me pobeste, be ye not fearing. Kai anebe prosautus esto ploion, and he went up to them into the boat. Kai ekopasen ho anemos, and the wind ceased. Kai lian ekperissu en heautois existanto, and exceedingly out of abundance in themselves they were being amazed. Ugar synerkan epitois sartois, for they understood not upon the bread. Alernauton hökardian peporomene, but their heart was a thing having been hardened. Kai diaperasantes epitern gern, and having passed over upon the land, Erton es Gennesaret, kai prosormister they came into Gennesaret, Kinneroth perhaps, and they drew to shore. Kai exeltonton auton ectu ploiu, and of them coming out of the boat, eutus epignontes auton, immediately ones having recognized him, periedramon, hollern, koran, ekenen, ran about all that region or country, kai erxanto epitois grabatois tus kakos secontas periperen, and they began upon the mats, the ones having sickness or sickly, to be carrying about. Hoppu erkuon hotiestin, wherever they were hearing that he is being. Kai hoppu an esporeueto escomas espoles esagrus entais agorais epitesan tus astenuntas kai parekalunauton hinakan tu graspedu tu himatiu autu hapsontai kai hosoi an herpsanto autu esoidzonto, and wherever he was entering into villages or into cities or into fields, in the marketplaces, they were laying the weak ones or sick ones, and they were begging him, so that also even the fringe of his garment they might touch, and as many as touched him, they were being saved.